Call Nation, welcome back to the Battlehawks Show. I am Jordan. My voice is gone, so you have to excuse me on that. What a night we had. St. Louis Battlehawks hosted the DC Defenders. Unfortunately, we came up short in the XFL Conference Championship. Final score 36-18. Man, it was rough. Why did we wait till the last game to play our worst game? Tonight, we're unpacking every key moment, standout performances, and what this loss means moving forward. Let's get into it, shall we? So, our Battlehawks. Oh, let me get my thing up in there. Yep, see that up there? That was our conference championship towel we got. Let me come back down. You're a little high there. It was not good. We lost the game 36-18, and we got dominated the entire game. The entire game. It was ugly. It was ugly from the get-go. First quarter, kind of stayed alive. They scored a touchdown. We stopped them on their extra point. And then after that, it was just all downhill. Max couldn't do a damn thing. He couldn't throw the ball to save his life. The O-line looked like our O-line like it has been all year. It's a major, major, major problem. We would have been so much better with a better O-line. Obviously, you'll be better with any upgraded position that need it. But our O-line specifically killed us all year. Killed us. It led to Manny getting hurt, our starting quarterback, which looked promising. Really did. He can throw and run. That's what we needed. We needed the actual duel. Max can run. Sorry, big dog. You just can't throw. You need to find a different throwing mechanic, bro. I grew up playing baseball my whole life. It looks like you're trying to throw a baseball. Just, you're bringing your arm way down here and then, dude. Ouch. Ouch. Well, all that basically led to Max getting injured. Well, they said he got banged up going into halftime, but it was so bad. You almost had to switch quarterbacks. You almost had to. I mean, Max couldn't get a pass off. I mean, it was, let's see. I mean, at halftime, it was 20-6. What? And you can't get anything going on offense at all. You couldn't get Butler going because you couldn't get the ball to him. And that sucked. So he goes out. Just giving a quick summary of the game. So he goes out and Silvers comes in. Sorry, brain farting. Excuse me. Silvers comes in. Looks great. Really does. Looks like, oh my God, we got a little bit of life in us, even though it's 20-6 at halftime. And we got the ball back at halftime. Leading up to that, sorry, reversing here. I'm going to bounce around here a little bit, but I'm explaining the game. We were driving down the field with like 3 minutes or 5 minutes to go. Turned it over. They drive down the field, get a field goal. We get the ball, turn it over. They score. That's what makes it basically 20-6. It was 12-6. Something like that. And we were like, okay, if we can drive down the field before they scored twice right there, if we could drive down the field, score, leave a little bit of time left on, play some hard defense, we get the ball back at halftime, maybe we can drive down the score some points and get this game rolling, make it a ball game again. That did not happen whatsoever. Like I said, Max got destroyed the entire first half. I say he got benched, but they say he got hurt. Silvers came in, was throwing the ball hard, looked great, was like, oh my God, why didn't you? I would have started Silvers. I'm not going to lie. I'm not, dude. Anthony Beck, if you would have started Silvers and we would have won that game, Anthony Beck would have looked like a genius. Genius. Now everybody's calling for his head, which is like, why? Our team didn't perform. Now, did Max get destroyed because of play calling? Or did Max get destroyed because the bad O-line? Or because he's not quite there on reading the field? It could be a mixture of all three. It could be one of those. I don't know. I'm not blaming the coach. Every time a team does horrible, everybody's like, oh, it's a coach. Get rid of the coach. Get rid of the coach. You know, the players have to perform. Yeah, the coach upstairs calls the plays. The head coach does what he does. It could be multiple things. It could be one thing. It could be everything. He could be on every play call, or he could be, it just depends. Anthony Beck, I can see with the challenge flag in the first half, lost that right away. Tried to get a PI, didn't work. Of course, the refs were all over us like they are every freaking home game. Terrible calls that didn't go our way, blatant calls that were not called, and then calls that were bullshit. Come on. It was rough, man. It's hard to do this. I didn't do this yesterday because my voice was more gone yesterday from me yelling the entire time. That's why my voice is gone. Silvers again had a nice touchdown to Akeem Butler. Made it 12 to like 24, whatever, 26, 28, whatever it was. Whatever. Like I said, Silvers came in, was slinging it. Threw it to Jakor, got like a 40-yard dude. I don't know, man. I don't think we need Manny. Manny's got to be our guy next year. Manny or Silvers. I don't know what the hell we're going to do. I don't even know what next year's going to look like. This is a spring football league here in St. Louis. So it's going to be a carousel of guys all the time. We had 2 straight kickoff fumbles in the second half. That's how you lose a game. I think he recovered one of them. But it was back-to-back kickoffs that the guy dropped out of 24. And then at the end of the game, with 2 minutes left, yes, I stayed. Talking trash, yelling the entire time at the other team. With 2 minutes to go, Max threw a 30-yard pass, and the guy ran it for like 40 more yards after that, or 30 more yards, and got blatant horse collar tackle, grabbed him by the shoulder pads, and just fucking slung him. Excuse my language. So that put us inside the 5. I think we're on the 2. We had 7 plays inside the 5 before we scored. We also had our all UFL tackle or guard go out in that series. 7 plays from inside the 5. We didn't deserve to win the game. The way we played, it was terrible. And then, once Silvers got carted off in the fourth quarter, He did get carted off. He went right out in front of us. Max came back in the game with like 8 minutes ago, whatever. And it was sack. The dude looked lost. Really did. He looked lost. It was rough, man. I keep saying that. It was rough. This sucks that this is my last podcast for the Battlehawks season. And it has to be like this. This podcast couldn't be, we're heading to the UFL Championship and it's in the Battle Dome. No. We're going home. And DC's coming back here where they always win, which I got some audio from Jordan Taiamu, ex-quarterback from the Battlehawks, and the head coach. Just every time they come here, man, they outplay us and they beat us. I don't know. Jordan said he feeds off the crowd, home or away. He just loves it. Yeah, I bet you do. You wouldn't be saying that crap if you lost. But you didn't lose, so hats off to you. Hats off to the slimy DC defenders for winning that game. I hope you lose. Go Stout or Panthers. Yeah. Go Panthers. Everybody's like, oh, if St. Louis was true and cared about the league, they'd show up to the championship. Yeah, we care about the league. We do. We show up every week when we have a home game. We show up every week. 25,000 plus, which is the most in the league by far. Not even close. Not even close. What, we had 6 home games, 25,000, 125,000 people. Home games, something like that, whatever. 150, whatever it is. Stupid. Like, our team's not in it, so the majority of us is not going to go. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. They put it in St. Louis because we got the biggest fan base. Because we represent our team. We care for our city. And we show up. Now, if we were in the championship, I bet you would be close to over 30,000, close to 35,000. And nowhere else in the UFL would even get remotely, even a quarter of that for a championship game. I wouldn't doubt it if they put it here again next year. But we'll see the turnout. We'll see the turnout. Regardless of what happens from the turnout, we're still the best fans. We still care for the UFL and our Battlehawks. It's just not going to be as crowded as you want it to. And if you go on Ticketmaster or wherever, the UFL and the Dome at America Center is only selling one side of the stadium right now. So when they show it on TV from the one side, it's going to look crowded. But obviously, if you already bought tickets and you're sitting elsewhere, you'll be there. But they closed all the other tickets, sales, seats to everywhere else besides that one side. Man, this is depressing. Sorry if this is putting you to sleep, but if you made it this long with me, 14 minutes in. Let's go over some stats from the game. All right. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Let's go over them, shall we? It was ugly. 36-18. We scored 6 points in the first half, 12 points in the second half. We scored a touchdown in the second quarter. We scored a touchdown in the third, and I believe a touchdown in the fourth. And that's it. No Rodrigo. None of that. Didn't even get a chance to put him out there. We didn't. Sad but true. They scored 6 in the first, 14 in the second, 6 in the third, 10 in the fourth. Ouch, Kibibble. All right, let's go over passing. Jordan Ta'amu, 18 for 26 for 204, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. QBR rating of 89, completion percentage 69%. Max Duggan, 7 for 14, so 50% completion percentage, 105 yards, no touchdowns through the air, and 1 interception. QBR rating of 45. Brandon Silvers, 6 for 10, 81 yards, 1 touchdown, 60% completion percentage. QBR rating of 119. You should have threw a wrench at the DC defenders and started Silvers. Because they were preparing for Max. And they know Max can't really. Yeah. So we had 157 yards through the air, 1 touchdown, 1 pick from both quarterbacks. Rushing, they ran all over us all game long. Deon Jackson from the defenders, 21 attempts for 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. He averaged 5 yards a carry. Abram Smith, 13 for 64, 1 touchdown. Average 4.9. And then Jordan only ran it twice for 13 yards. They had 36 attempts for 187 yards with 3 touchdowns on the ground. We had Jacob Sailors, 9 for 45 with 1 touchdown, averaged 5 yards a carry. Max Duggan, 8 for 33 with 1 touchdown on the ground, averaged 4 yards a carry. And then Howard, 5 for 5 yards, averaged 1 yard a carry. We had 3 rushers, 22 attempts for 83 yards, 2 touchdowns. So they had 100 more yards rushing than us. And they burnt a lot of clock. Receiving, DC defenders, their leading receiver was Seth Williams, 2 catches for 61 yards and a touchdown. He caught that 42-yard bomb from Ta'amu at the beginning of the game. Ta'amu threw it up in the end zone from about, like I said, from up, like I said, 42 yards, 50-yard pass for him from beyond the line of scrimmage. Guy jumped up, caught it in between 2 defenders, scored the touchdown, and it was all downhill from there. Cornell Powell, 4 for 57. Chris Rowland, 5 for 42. Everybody else was under 3 catches for under 20 yards. They had 8 receivers, 18 catches for 204 yards through the air, 1 touchdown. We had Frank Darby, our leading receiver, had 2 catches for 53 yards. Ja'Cour Pearson had 2 catches for 50 yards. Jacob Sailors out of the backfield had 3 catches for 27 yards. Howard had 2 for 19. Akeem Butler, 2 for 19 with a touchdown. He had that one-handed score from Silvers late in the game. Jake Sutherland, 1 for 15. Chase Allen, 1 for 3. Gary Jennings had 3 targets, no catches. But that's because nothing was thrown at him. We had 8 receivers, 13 catches for 186 yards, 1 touchdown. And most of those yards came from yards after the catch. We had 116 yards after the catch. Yeah. Not great, guys. Not great. We got pooped on. Defense. We got sacked 5 times with 1 interception. Terrible. 9 tackles for loss. Jesus. 2 forced fumbles, and we lost 1. We had 1 sack, 1 interception, 2 tackles for losses, and that is it. We had no forced fumbles. Yeah. What a terrible day. Rodrigo didn't kick anything. Matt McCrane was 3 for 3. Their kicker. Kick return, Blake Jackson, 5 returns for 115 yards. Jeez, man. They punt it one time. We punt it 4 times. God. We had no punt return stats. Holy crap, dude. That's ridiculous. Just terrible, dude. They had field goal, touchdown. And then, yeah, dude, it just one point it was 14-0. And then 20-6. Then 26-12. And then 32-12. And then 36-18 to end the game. We went for a 2-point conversion attempt, and it failed, of course. It just, dude, terrible game. Terrible for the conference championship. And that's 2 years in a row now in St. Louis where we have failed. It's terrible, man. All right, let's get in a little bit of audio here from Anthony Beck after the game. Of course, he's got to say his due diligence. And then we'll get into Coach Harris and Jordan Ta'amu after the Dome and whatnot. But, yeah, this is Coach Anthony Beck, courtesy of the UFL, United Football League. This was from their media. This is Coach Anthony Beck after the game.
It does fall on my shoulders. This city and its fan base, loves this team. And I just, that disappoints me more than anything, that I couldn't bring it home for the city. They support us. I ask so much of them, and they always come out and they show up, and they did a hell of a job today. And I apologize to them. I know that, listen, there's a lot of fans that want us to get where we want to be, and it's disappointing, and they're disappointed, and they should be. I mean, that's just how it works. But I'm not going to take anything away from what our team did this year. It's a good team. It's hard, again, to get where we got. And, again, we got to find a way to get over the hump. But when we do that next year, we still got to find a way to get into the playoffs. And then once we get there, we have to be better at what we're doing.
Hey, fellow Americans. That was Coach Anthony Beck after the game. It was rough, man. You could see him on the sidelines, just how upset he was. Now this is Coach Harris and Jordan Ta'amu with how well they know the Dome and the Dome energy, and they're ready to be back next weekend. This is audio courtesy of the UFL, United Football League, and the DC Defenders.
We feel comfortable coming to this building, and we've had a lot of success. So, when we knew we were coming back here, it was just status quo for us. These guys are comfortable, like I said earlier, about coming to play here. So, we didn't miss a beat on that part.
Yeah, for me, it was definitely great coming back to St. Louis again. And for me, I always like feeding off the crowd. If it's our crowd or if someone else's, I feed off of that. And, we knew the noise was going to be a problem. But like Coach said, we've been here before. I played here a bunch, so I know exactly what to do on that aspect. And playing in the Dome is just nice. No weathers, no wind, nothing. You can just throw the ball around and be very accurate with it. So it was fun.
Yeah, that's what that was. That was Coach Harris, head coach, the DC Defenders, and Jordan Ta'amu on the game this weekend. In other news, Pita Tamu Pinu, our linebacker, number 7, got Defensive Player of the Year. That's great. That's awesome. Yeah. It was rough, man. I know I keep saying it, but it was rough to watch. It really was. It was hard to stay there the entire time, but I'm not going to be going. I wouldn't leave. You know what I mean? There's no way. So this loss basically ends our season at 8-3 after winning the XFL North with 8-2 record. For the second straight year, we have hosted the conference championship and lost. Meanwhile, DC improves to 6-4 and will face Michigan in the UFL Championship next weekend in the Dome, and we won't be there. Yeah. Just want to say thank you to St. Louis, and thanks for tuning in with me this whole year. I really do appreciate it. But the Battlehawks, they had a great year, but once again, we stumbled in the most important game to get to the UFL Championship, which again would be at home. Can Max Duggan and this core regroup next spring? No, it's going to be Manny's team. I don't think Duggan's going to. He's in trouble. He might come back here, but the defense needs to find a way to handle power run games, which is true. But even though our defense was our heart and soul all year, our offense is what struggled. Looking ahead, this group is just one season removed from the playoffs. Solid. The chemistry is there, but they've got to find consistency under the bright lights, which is so true. Guys, that's it for the Battlehawks show tonight. Let me know in the comments who is your MVP of this game. What adjustments should St. Louis make this offseason? Should they change coaches? Should they keep coaches? What are they going to do at quarterback next year? I mean, like I said, this is a spring football league. There's gonna be a mix up everywhere and whatnot. Maybe I'll do a coverage of the game next week. We'll see. But if you found this breakdown of the conference championship helpful, please smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you can get notifications when we go live. Thanks for being a part of my show and Kickoff Nation. Until next time, I'm Jordan, and remember, Kickoff is the law. See ya!